Oh, Netflix, come and give us a vampire movie now right away. I'm interested. Right off the bat, I'm intrigued. I love vampire movies. I even went to the cinema to watch Morbius. That's how much of a vampire fan I am now, obviously. We all know what happened with Morbius, don't we? Don't we? It was awful. It was terrible. No one liked it. And if you did like it, then there's something wrong with you. Because it was a terrible movie, right? It did vampires no justice. Because vampires can be so great if done so right. Interview with a Vampire, come on, man. It doesn't get much better than Interview with a Vampire. Fright Night, do you remember that? How did he go? Remember when he like pulls out the cross and the vampire, the main one, is like, all his teeth are fucked, his mouth's all fucked up because he's like clearly wearing prosthetic fangs, and he's like, you have to have faith for that to work on me, Charlie. It's fucking great. And he grabs the cross in his hand and he crushes it, and it's like, you have to have faith for that to... Fucking good shit, man. What else? Oh, I'm on the spot now because I've said it. You know, Underworld, I didn't mind Underworld. You know, it was a bit popcorny, but I didn't mind it. But Bram Stoker's Dracula, the vampires, remember that? Where they're all partying in the hotel, the motel rather, and he just knocks on the door and the guy answers it and he just goes and splits the guy in two, then just walks in the motel and just fucks everyone up. Come on, man. Vampires have had some good shit. The Lost Boys. Lost Boys? Come on. There's been some good shit, but lately cinema just leaves it behind. Hollywood isn't interested in the vampire movie. We've had crap like Twilight to contend with, which single-handedly destroyed the entire genre. But here Netflix are. Here you go, bearded nerd. Day Shift has Jamie Foxx in it. You're gonna love it. Did I love it? No. No, I didn't. I didn't love it. I'll tell you why I didn't love it. It was okay. It's a fun time. You'll enjoy yourself watching it, but... is it a good vampire movie? No! No, it's not. It's not. It's ridiculous. Look, whoever made this movie, the action scenes are really fun. Sort of remind you a little bit of John Wick, in a way. The person who made this movie has some obsession with necks breaking, because there's so many shots where people just, you know, where they fall just head first and they spike and their body flops over and you just know their neck is snapped in like a million different places. It has loads of scenes like that in it. Like I said, the action, it's fun. It's like Buffy the Vampire fun, only much faster paced and directed better. But yeah, it's not, there's a lot of things that just... Okay, let me just give you the premise. So, you have Jamie Foxx. I don't even remember his name. The fuck is his name? Shit, I don't remember his name. Forgotten. He doesn't remember. Jamie Foxx. He's a vampire hunter, right? But he's been shamed. They have this thing called the Union. Sort of like a John Wick setup. They had the underground sort of creed of assassins, right? And they had all their own rules and shit. It's kind of like that, but vampire hunting. And he's been shamed. He's been disbarred. So now he has to... You can trade vampire teeth for currency. So you kill a vampire, you rip out his fangs. You can take it to the Union and you can trade it for money. They'll pay you for it, right? The higher caliber the vampire, the more money the fang is worth. So it's a good currency system. And the film establishes there's multiple different types of vampires, and it does dig into the lore a little bit. And I like the fact that some of the things are very old school, like the vampires, they don't cast a reflection. I like that. It's very rare do you see that being utilized. Stakes through the heart will kill them, but it has to be a certain type of wood. So they did try and bring in some really old school stuff about the vampire mythos, but the movie just falls flat for me because it doesn't go anywhere with it. Like, so Jamie Foxx, he has to sell his teeth to like their version of a pawnbroker, right? So he's getting a really bad price and stuff. And Snoop Dogg is in this movie and he's still in the Union and he helps him get back in. And I'm not going to spoil the movie, but the whole point and the premise of the movie is Jamie Foxx's family is in disarray. His ex-wife is going to leave and take the daughter with her, so he needs to save up enough money so he can pay for his daughter's tuition. That's the setup for the movie. He needs more teeth, he needs more money so he can keep his family close by. That's the premise of the movie right there. That's his motivation for wanting to go out and take as many teeth as possible. But the villain in this movie is just as James Bond a villain as you can get. By that, what I mean is, it's just a villain for the sake of being a villain. She has zero depth. And she does that typical villain shit where they really could have done what they said they was gonna do like an hour ago, you know? But they just drag it out so long to where they eventually will fail. And you're like, why didn't you just do it like, you know, where they'll have no problem doing shit to everyone else, but because of plot armor, the thing she said she's gonna do, I'm gonna reveal my grand plan. And she says the grand plan like 2 or 3 times, I'm gonna do this. 50 minutes later, I'm gonna do this. And it's just like, really? We know you're not gonna, but now we really don't believe you're gonna do it. Do you know what I mean? And the action scenes are fun. It has Scott Atkins in it, right? If you know who he is, Scott Atkins. And it's him from the Undisputed Fighting franchise. And when you know he turns up, you know the shit is about to get real. And it did. There's this scene where they go into a house and just a few juvenile vampires, nothing to worry about, right? They're all playing Call of Duty or whatever. And they take them out, but it turns out the place is a hive. Spoiler alert, sorry. Place is a hive, so there's loads of vampires, right? And that scene is nuts. For some reason, all the vampires seem to be like incredibly flexible. They're all doing that weird like spider dance, like, you know, where they're putting their heels over the back of their head and doing all like creepy like crab walking up walls and shit. But that whole scene is absolutely, the movie's worth watching for that scene alone. They are doing the most crazy shit you've ever seen happen to vampires. That scene is legit as fuck. One of the favorite scenes I've seen in the movie this year. It's absolutely mental. Franco is in this movie. That guy, and he's good. He's like this really timid guy who works at the office of the union, right? He works at the office of the union, and because Jamie Foxx has been so shamed in the past, he has to follow him around and make sure he doesn't break any regulations. But he pisses himself, literally, every time anything happens. He's really timid, really scared. So Jamie Foxx now has this dynamic where he's having to try and fucking not only not fuck up and burst any regulations, but try and protect this fucking kid as well. Really can't defend himself. But yeah, that scene in the house is mental. Absolutely absurd. Some of the fight scenes are really good. Snoop Dogg is really enjoyable in this movie. He's like a, sort of a black sort of cowboy gangster in this movie, and it works. He pulls it off really, really well. And his acting's pretty damn good, I'm not gonna lie. Overall, this is an enjoyable film, but it's very... I don't know why I was expecting anything deeper, because I shouldn't have done. That's on me. It's just, I really want a compelling vampire movie. These fun ones are fine. Netflix did another one. I can't remember what it was called, but it was very similar. Just a fun movie, but really also not good beyond the surface. And that's what this is. I can't remember what the movie was, but I'm going to find it after this. I'm going to place it right there. So that's the movie I'm referring to. That was another good time. So it's a fun time. If you just want a movie to watch and have fun with, you can have a lot of fun with this movie. You'll enjoy it. I did, but yeah, it's not great. It's not going to stick with you a long time. You're gonna. Oh, that's what I'm going to say. Spoiler alert, the scene in the house, I hate shit like this. When a movie leaves like a plot thread, but then just leaves it alone. So the film establishes many different kinds of vampires, right? They list them all. There's the Franco guy. He lists all the different types of vampires. So it's establishing that there's a different species. Right? And in this house, they realize that there's many different breeds of vampire inside this nest, and that shouldn't be possible. So the character who's worked in the office, who knows all of the data, he's like, hang on, there's something not right here. They would never mix with them. This breed would never be anywhere near this breed. Why are they all together this way? Something just doesn't make sense. And that spiked my interest. I was like, what's happening? What is going on? Is some bigger force at play? What is this? Doesn't touch it after that. It's just forgotten about, like it never happened. So maybe they're planning on touching on that in the sequel. Maybe that's what it was. Foreshadowing, setting up for something. I don't know, but I just don't like that. But anyway, yeah, it's an okay time. It's sort of a John Wicky sort of vampire thing. Jamie Foxx is cool in the movie. Loves his shotgun. Very good at using it. So yeah, it's okay. If I was pushed, stressed to give it a score out of 10, I'd give it a 7. Give it a 7, it's entertaining. But no, I want more from my vampire movies. I want horror. Because let me tell you something, that's not scary. Look at that, man. And no one's even less scary than that. That. The demon vampire face. Fucking hell. Like, I've never... when they pulled out the fangs, they do that weird hissing shit. It's like the sort of shit you'd see on the Sci-Fi Channel back in the day. Like, come on, man. We need more in our vampires than that. Horror. Fucking hell. Anyway, like and subscribe. Or don't. I don't give a fuck.